State of Arizona versus Lori Daybell, CR 2021-001704-001, verdict count 1. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn in the above entitled action, upon our oaths, do find the defendant, Lori Daybell, as to the crime of count 1, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder occurring on or about July 11, 2019, guilty.
And you're hearing it right there, a guilty verdict for Lori Daybell. It took a jury of her peers just hours to decide that she conspired to commit first-degree murder of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, back in 2019. I want to send things right over to Faye Fredericks and Ashley Holden live outside the courthouse for us this afternoon with our team coverage of the big story.
Yeah, Katie, Charles Vallow was shot to death inside the family home in Chandler in 2019 by Alex Cox. That's Lori Daybell's brother. He then just months later passed away of apparent natural causes. So many twists and turns in this case. Our Ashley Holden inside the courtroom from the very beginning following it all. Take us through that moment when that verdict was read, the reaction from the family inside that courtroom.
Yeah, we were all kind of hanging on those words as this was being read. And as soon as we heard guilty, I looked over to Kay Woodcock, which is Charles Vallow's sister, and I could see her just doing those deep breaths. I mean, a sense of relief for the family, and that's what they said today. Today is a good day. That's what they said when they spoke to us out here outside of court. And they've had to sit through so much court, not only here in Arizona, but they had Lori Daybell's case in Idaho, Chad Daybell's case in Idaho, and there's so many names involved in Lori Daybell, Lori Vallow Daybell, as people know her, that you have to commend the prosecution for really breaking all of this down, because they really talk jurors through, even in closing arguments, every single player that was involved, trying to lay this out, because it's very complex.
It is complex. Lori Daybell, of course, acting as her own attorney. We actually have some reaction from Charles Vallow's family about what they saw from her in court. Okay. We're working to get that clip of that interview real quickly. But one of the things that we heard from Charles Vallow's sister, again, Kay Woodcock is her name, she, was asked to describe what this time has been like and getting to this point. She said, it's been like walking through the pits of hell. All right, I think we have her now. Let's go ahead and listen in.
A long journey, and I'm just glad it's over with. I really am. My whole family is, my sisters, and I just want to thank everybody, the Arizona Prosecutor's Office, Trina Kay, and everyone else that was here and got us through it all. Our court advocates and the whole 9 yards. Today's a good day.
Brother saying, we got her. At one point they said that, but you could hear kind of that relief, and I'll be frank, we did ask, and people asked what they thought of Daybell's performance. I think we'll have a soundbite later on, but they were pretty blunt. They said that they thought that she was pretty bad at acting as her own defense, and we asked jurors about that too, along with her performance, and they said that there were so many missing pieces to this, and they were waiting to see, why didn't Daybell call some of her other family members to testify if she was complaining that they only heard from her estranged brother, Alex Cox, her other brother. So we heard that from jurors.
In fact, that piece of the interview that you were just talking about, I think we have that right now. So let's go ahead and listen to that.
Do you think she did herself any favors by defending herself?
No.
You were not impressed with her lawyering skills?
No.
What did you think of her behavior during cross-examination, the way that at one moment she was argumentative with some of the witnesses?
Many days she just was like smiling and laughing and didn't seem to take anything very seriously.
Were you hoping to hear it? How much of that did that play into a factor in the decision?
It did.
Were you hoping to hear her testify?
Yeah, and of course, Lori Daybell, throughout this entire thing, has said this wasn't conspiracy to commit murder. This was a family tragedy, is how she described it. And we just heard from the family. They said that's just flat out absurd.
Yeah, you can imagine they lost their brother, and they have been fighting for justice, and that's something that Charles Vallow's sister said, that she never let up, that she stayed in contact with law enforcement here in Arizona. Of course, we saw so much focus on those Idaho cases, but she wanted to let people know they did not forget their brother and they did not forget what happened here.
Yeah. So we heard from some of the jurors just a few steps from where we're standing right now, shortly after court let out and that verdict was read. And it was really interesting listening to what resonated with them and what didn't resonate with them, how much information they had about this case, the key pieces of information they didn't have because of the rules of court and what was allowed to be introduced by the prosecution and what wasn't. So I want to hear from them in just a moment, but I think the most staggering thing that they didn't know, at least some of them, was the death of two of Lori Daybell's two children, Tylee and JJ.
And they were there that day when all of this was happening. You know, we've heard from Daybell that JJ had been in Charles Vallow's rental car when all of this played out. But when you think about it, JJ and Tylee have been killed. Alex Cox, her brother, dead of apparent natural causes. Charles Vallow shot to death, and the only survivor that was there when this happened was Lori Daybell.
Yeah, when Charles Vallow was shot in his home in Chandler back in 2019, the only survivor of that now is Lori Daybell.
Yeah.
In court today.
And to hear from jurors that the evidence that stuck with them was those messages, those text messages, whether they be talking about some kind of extreme religious beliefs or life insurance. They said, so many of them said that was what it was, but that they leaned on evidence, and that's what they stuck with.
Yeah, because there's been so much talk throughout this entire thing of evil spirits and possession and all of that sort of thing. And that didn't really seem to move the meter a lot for the jurors, at least the ones that you spoke with. I know. Let's go ahead and listen into some of them.
What was this experience like for you?
It was sad, as he said. For me, it was the text messages that did it, as far as evidence. And I feel like we uncovered some lies.
Knowing now that she was convicted of killing her two children in Idaho.
I haven't had a chance to Google everything. I'm sure as soon as we get on the shuttle. So might have more to say later.
Was that difficult going through this and not being able to be disconnected?
Yeah. It just felt like there was a lot of information that didn't make sense and that was missing.
Do you think she did herself any favors?
Yeah, and the reason for that is certainly the rules of the court and not to prejudice the jury in any way. Otherwise, obviously, the prosecution would have used that as part of their evidence and their arguments there in court. But nonetheless, we know a guilty decision in the case of Lori Daybell here at Maricopa County Superior Court.